Tales from the Darkside, Season 1, Episode 4, Painkiller. Well, it features another old couple, a man named Harvey and his wife, Nadine. Harvey is an auto mechanic who, for some reason, is always running into problems with pain. These come in some of the dumbest ways possible. So the first one we see, he's holding a spoon, and then he gets horrible back pain. The first half of this episode seems to be played off in a comic tone, but it's not very funny. He holds a spoon, falls down, and then his wife Nadine puts a blanket on him and turns off the lights. The entire time Harvey talks kind of like droopy. Harvey talks the same way the entire episode. He has this kind of like droopy accent where he always talks like this. Hi, Nadine. I have back pain.
Should I bring the book so you can study?
I don't think so, Nadine.
You know what? That's not sanitary.
He goes to the doctor to figure out what exactly is the source of his back pain. They do some x-rays and they can't find anything wrong with him, but they do put him in this ridiculous looking contraption. Once again, supposed to be hilarious, but I feel like misses the mark. And he still talks in his kind of droopy tone. 13 minutes into the episode, we finally get a reveal of what the actual plot is. He goes in and meets the doctor again, and this time, the doctor, who, of course, is the devil, tells him that he wants to kill his wife. So he asks Harvey to kill his wife Nadine, and that will get rid of all the pain in his life. It seems that this doctor, the devil, is actually the one who's making Harvey feel all this pain.
Harvey, all we have to do is murder your wife.
You think what would come after that is that Harvey, we will see a spooky scene where Harvey with a knife is walking around late at night, about to kill his wife. That's actually not what happens. Instead, an old woman actually runs over his wife Nadine. And so Harvey kind of agrees to this, but then his wife gets killed in a car accident, quote unquote. And then he goes back to meet the doctor. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. So if you can't tell, I don't really like this episode. It takes way too long to get started. It's not very funny in the first half. And then the second half, where you actually get somewhat of an interesting plot. The devil is causing all this pain, this back pain, headaches, for this guy Harvey for no reason. And then is trying to hire him to kill someone. He doesn't even actually ever get around to even doing that. There's no scenes where he actually tries to kill anyone or does anything that could be regarded as a tale from the dark side. So I think I'm going to have to give Painkiller a 2 out of 10. Oh, it's close to a 1, but I guess technically towards the end there's at least something that resembles what would be an interesting plot. But wow, do I hate the main character. His droopy tone is not very funny, and even when he gets news that his wife died, he seems to not care at all.
God. Nadine. Of course.
So let's not jump too far ahead. But our next challenger, please.
This was a tough one. Luckily, the next episode is actually pretty good. But we'll see this a lot in Tales from the Dark Side. The quality is so all over the place. It really is amazing. I give it a 2 out of 10. Alright, let's read some reviews, because actually, there's people on the internet that disagree with me. There's people that actually like this one. So let's see what their reasons are for liking it. Alright, so let's look at some reviews. Painkiller has a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, which is not too bad. So let's say 7.775. Absolutely moronic in every sense of the word. How dare them. 7. Great episode. Harvey Turman is a middle-aged man that while watching The Night of the Living Dead has a terrible back pain and needs to sleep on the floor of the kitchen. His wife Nadine torments him with her shopping and wishes that he learns computer programming to make more money. Yeah, they do mention that like briefly in the beginning. He just reads he's going to learn how to program computers, but then he says he doesn't know how to do it. So, okay. He visits Dr. Roebuck, who does not find anything wrong with him and concludes that his pain is caused by his obnoxious wife. Well, sort of. Then he suggests means to literally kill the cause of his pain, and Sue Harvey learns who Dr. Roebuck really is. Well, we don't exactly learn, but we just assume it. I mean, it's Tales from the Dark Side. We just assume everyone's the devil. Painkiller is a great episode of Tales from the Dark Side. Not really. Only who has already had back pain can feel the suffering of Harvey Turman. I guess maybe if you have back pain, you can relate to it. The conclusion is also excellent, a la Strangers on a Train. My vote is 7. That rings a bell. I haven't seen this movie, but the short clip I could find is already more exciting and better than the entire episode of Painkiller. I'm going to be super controversial and say Alfred Hitchcock is a pretty good director. The character Harvey is played by Lou Jacoby. He was a TV actor on the Dick Van Dyke Show, The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, and, most importantly, an episode of Captain Kangaroo. He died in 2009 at the ripe old age of 95. Nice job. His wife Nadine was played by Peggy Cass. She played the mother in a previous series I covered, Monsters, in the episode Parents from Space. She was also in a lot of television quiz shows like Match Game, Password, and To Tell the Truth. Next up, episode 4 of season 1, The Odds. An actually good episode about gambling.